divided by 2. So now looking at this part right here, we have x squared minus 8x equals 3. So what is your middle number? Number negative 8. I want you to divide by 2 and then square it. You can either do this in your head or you can go ahead and use your calculator on your desk. Well, negative 8 divided by 2 gives you a negative 4. So what's negative 4 times negative 4? 16. So we're going to add that 16 here, and I'm going to add that 16 on the right. So whatever you do on the left side, you have to balance it by doing the same thing on the right side. And then by magic, we're going to take a look at the left side right there. Because you created this with the 16, you just rewrite this as x minus 4, and you get that 4 because the middle number divided by 2 squared. Now we're going to do is I'm going to solve for this, okay? My goal here is to get x by itself. And so how do I go about getting rid of that 2 with the square right there? I'm going to go ahead and, sorry. That's good because I was looking at the answer here. I'm like, I don't see it. All right, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so 3 and 16 gives you what, you guys? You guys know that. All right, so 19. And so how do you come back a square? What's the opposite of a square? A square root both sides. And so when you square root both sides, what's going to happen is that square root and that square cancel. We have x minus 4. And whenever you square root something, it's about distance. Okay? So if this is from 0, your distance is always going to be a positive and a negative. So getting a little bit closer, you want x by itself, but you have that negative 4 attached to it. What's opposite of a negative 4? So let's go ahead and add 4 on both sides. And then I'm going to cross out that negative 4 and a positive 4. And I just have x is equal to, the first one I'm going to have is a 4 plus the square root of 19. And then your second one, instead of a plus, what is it going to be? So then matching this is the ABCD. Give a minute when it talks up or down, make sure you have that step by step, and then take a look at it. What is the first step in solving the quadratic equation in this part right here? If you're going to solve the quadratic equation, which means that you want to isolate the x by itself and ultimately want to get x by itself with x equals something, you want to get rid of everything that's attached to x squared on the left side. So you see how that 8 is attached to it? What's opposite of a positive 8? Subtract 8 on both sides. So technically that will be my first step, but we're just going to finish the function. So the that part cancels. You bring down that negative 5x squared, which is equal to, what's 133 minus 8? You guys have calculators. You tell me. And then I want to get the x squared by itself. So you see how it's a negative 5 times x squared? What's opposite of 5? Right? So then the divide negative 5 on both sides. And when I do that, my negative 5 cancel. You bring down the x squared. So grab your calculator. What's negative, opposite sign, so it's negative. So be careful with your words there, okay? And then if I were to finish a question, opposite of a square is a square root. My square root is x is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 25. Now the question doesn't require you to go all the way to the part. You're going to go back a little bit. Just go, okay, what was my first step that I did? What did I do? I subtracted 8. Well, I isolated that, so I can get the x squared by itself. So it's an ABC root. Subtracting 8 from both sides. And also, when you guys go into Algebra 2, you're going to realize that this is an imaginary number because right now in your calculator, everybody put in square root of negative 25. If you're like, I don't know what the square root button is on my calculator, you guys, just take a look at your calculator. Do you see the square root button right there in the blue? So in order to get to that blue button right there, you have to go ahead and click on this second blue button first, and then click on this x squared button. So type in the square root, type in negative 25, and hit. What do you get? There. And the reason why it says that is because this is called an imaginary number. You guys haven't talked about this yet, but next year in Algebra 2 you will. So I don't like having a negative in here. So instead, I'm going to put a square root of 25 with an I. I'm going to change that negative to an I. And so your answer really is going to be plus or minus 5I, but that's something that's an Algebra 2. Okay. All right, number 53. So go ahead and read that. Take a few seconds. Equation results from taking the square root of both sides of that. Okay. So if I take the square root, because I want to get rid of the square, put it on the left side and put it on the right side. When I do that, my square and my square root cancel, and I have x minus 9 equals, what is the square root of 81? You can use your calculator, and that's really fine. Or if you go ahead and think about all of the perfect squares, if you think about 1 square is 1, 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4, square which is 3 times 3 is 9, 4 square which is 4 times 4 is 16, and then continue on with 5. So that's 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So all of these numbers that I'm highlighting right now, these are all perfect squares. So it's really helpful if you can calculate them so that later on the final, we'll save you a little bit of time. What is the square root of 81? 9. But remember, it's a plus and minus 9. Anytime you do a square root, it's a plus and minus. And so which one does that match? A, B, C, or D? So this one you didn't have to finish the entire question. But if you were to finish the question, what is your next step? What's opposite of negative number? What happens? Give me another second, copy it down, and then we'll go on to the right. Let's go to 54. Read the question. Possible answer. Let's think about how are you going to go on this topic. So here we have x squared equals 12x minus 15. We're going to go ahead and complete the square using this question. So in order to complete the square, you need to have your middle number. Your middle number is generally will be x, and guess what? Your x is in the wrong location. We're going to move it over time by magic because you created this, completing the square equation. You're going to rewrite the left side. Let's see in a square. Your letter or your variable is x, and the second term that's going to be in there is just a middle number divided by 2. So what did you guys get when you took negative 12 divided by 2? Negative 6, right? So x minus 6 in parentheses squared is equal to, and then with your calculator, what's negative 15 plus 36? All right, so we're almost there, guys. How do you get rid of a square right here? What's opposite of a square? Both sides. Square this, your square root and your square root simply cancels, and you have x minus 6 is equal to, and whenever you square root something, you have two answers, a plus and a minus version of that. The square root of 21, but with a plus and a minus in front of it. So already at this point, do you see some answers here that you're like, it's not going to be it? Because I know it can't be A because that was the square root of 51. And it can't be C because it's the square root of 51 as well. So it could either be B or D. Well, let's go and see which one it's going to be. Let's do one more step. What's opposite of minus 6? So when I add the 6 on both sides, is it B or is it D? Yeah, because it's a positive 6. Okay? And so that's only reflected in D. D has a negative 6. So then your two answers here, because it gets split, a positive 6 plus the square root of 21, and a positive 6 minus the square root of 21. So D as in yeah. You want to make sure you blank paper and just something like take your paper. And the way you get it back is that show the after school tutoring, and I'm gonna have to go chit chat with you, and I'll give you that sheet of paper, and then you're gonna watch the video on YouTube. All right, last one, you guys are telling me to take your little break. So this is the midway point. What are the solution of this quadratic equation? So if you look at the answers are all in x. Sometimes, so my goal here is to solve for x, like the variable x. So looking at your question here, your x plus 3 in parentheses with a square. So how do I get rid of that square? You guys are getting better at this. I've got something square root. So then that square, the square root cancels, and x plus 3 equals is the square root of 49. 49 is a perfect square. Think about it. Or use your calculator. What is it? 7, yeah. But then remember, you can't just put 7. It has to be a plus 7 and a negative 7. And you're like, why, Catalina? Why is it a plus and minus 7? Well, the reason for that, you guys, is if you think about it, if you have a positive 7 times a positive 7, doesn't that equal 49, right? And doesn't also a negative 7 times a negative 7 also positive 49, right? So that's why you have two different answers. One's positive, one's negative. One last step. How do you get rid of a positive 3? Let's subtract that. And then I have x is equal to a negative 3 plus 7 and a negative 3 minus 7. So guess what? I lied. You have one more step after that. So if you have your calculator, you can type that in, or you can just do this in your head. What are your two answers? Negative 3 plus 7 is 4. What's negative 3 minus 7? What is 8, right? So then A, B, C, or D, which one do you think it is, you guys? Is the only one that matches. Alright, so we're at the halfway point, and so thank you guys for not using your cell phone during the time we're going over this. Next one I'll have you guys do is you can take out your cell phone now because you have a 10-minute break. So if you need to go pause I'm going to go ahead and 98 minus x squared equals 0. And so if your goal is to solve for x squared or x, you want to move this over to the right side because you want to get it away from the 98. So what's the opposite of a negative x squared? Opposite of a negative is a positive. Yeah, you got it. So 98 equals 0 plus x squared is just x squared. You guys, I think kind of know. You're like, all right, so let's get rid of the square by square rooting this. But now here's a new skill that you have not been introduced yet. You have to simplify your numbers inside of the square root. Okay? Because you take a look at your answer over here. Does that answer match the square root 98? Do any of the answer match this? No. So that means you have to simplify this. So you gotta ask yourself, and we're gonna go back to like 4th grade math where you're finding factors, like common factors of a number. So if I were to break down 98, what times 1 gives me 98? Think about it. And with these numbers, you want to use perfect squares. Okay, so perfect squares are like 4, 9, 16, 25. So does any of those numbers go into 98? Like, well, 4 doesn't work, 9 doesn't work because when I divide 4, 9 into 98, it gives me a decimal. Well, if none of those work, you can try something else. We can always see that 98 is a even number, so any even number can always divide by 2. So what's 98 divided by 2? Yeah, 49 times 2 gives me 98. Is one of these number a perfect square? 49. What's the square root of 49? Is that 7? Yeah. So I have a plus or minus 7. The square root always give you 2 answers. Don't forget your square root 2 equals x. So that a b squared. See. Now on the final, if you're like, oh my gosh, Callahan, what if I make it over to here, but then I don't know how to square root it, and then I just don't get the right answer? So another thing that you can do to avoid that mistake, you guys, is just take your calculator, okay? Take your 7 times square root 2. So grab your calculator right now, push 7, push your second button, so you get the square root, and then push 2. When you hit enter, you should have something that's like a 9.899. And then if you do the same thing with square root 98, and you hit enter, same answer. So that's another alternative way for you to get the right answer. I don't want you guys to miss the question just because you don't know how to do the very last step. And some of these questions, it's a little bit daunting because there's like several skills wrapped up into one. So you might know 3 of the skills, but if you miss the last one, you're going to get the answer wrong. So just make sure that you understand the alternative ways to avoid these skills. All right, number 57, go ahead and read that. We all know how much you love it. All right, so let's take a look at this. The sum of a number. What does the word sum mean? Is that plus, minus, divide, or multiply? What is it? Plus. So the sum of a number in its square. Square means that whatever it is, it's square like that. Is 42. Okay, is which equation can be used to find 2 numbers that is true for them? Okay, so this is going to be your first number. This is going to be your second number. And this is going to be your sum. Your sum is 42. Your first number is just going to be x. Your second number has to be the square of that. So what's x times x? Now, and that doesn't really match because here I have x squared plus x, and this one's x plus x squared. Do you guys remember the commutative property? The commutative property is a plus b is the same thing as b plus a. So you can reverse that. So in this situation, x squared plus x is the same thing as x plus x. Number 58. Go ahead, take 30 seconds and read the question. You might want to draw yourself a rectangle if you need it. What shape are we looking at here? Rectangle, right? So I have my 9-year-old, and he's in 4th grade, and in elementary school they do these math challenges that they give in the district, and all of them are like really complicated math questions. So like if you're in 1st grade, you have to do 3 questions or more. If you're in 2nd grade, you have to do like 6 questions or more, and every grade you have to do more. And each of the levels of the questions gets harder and harder. So I just tell them like with a highlighter, just like I told you guys, box certain information, highlight, underline certain information that you think might pertain to the question of what it's asking. And these skills, it really does help you because word problems not easy, but if you go ahead and kind of break it apart little by little, you can put those pieces together and solve the question. So it's a rectangle. Are we looking at perimeter, circumference, area, volume? What are we looking at? What does your question say? Area. Okay. And it's equal to 40 square units. So let's draw a rectangle. Now let's label it, okay? Your length is always going to be the longer side, and your width is going to be the shorter side. How do you find the area of a rectangle? Yeah, length times width, and we know that's equal to 40. And it gives me another hint right here. So I want you to use a finger highlighter if you want to highlight the last hint. This is the length is 6 units greater than the width, okay? So my length is going to be 6 times bigger than the width. Not 6 times, but 6 units more. So 6 times. Let's take a look at our options here, okay? You know your area has to be 40. 8 times 5 is 40. 10 times 4 is 40. 11 times 9 is 99. 13 times 7 is obviously greater than 100. So which one is not going to be our answer? Yeah, it can't be C and D because I have to equal 40. So then looking at A and B, which one works? Which one makes the length 6 units bigger than the width? Yeah, is the number 10 6 more than 4? Yeah, okay, so that's how you break it down. You start off with just underlining and highlighting, draw a picture, and then you start doing process of elimination. And I mean, really, it's like a critical thinking thing. Like, this is how you problem solve in real life. All right, second to last question. Go ahead and read this one about students and squares. Take about 30 seconds, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll break it down. So you are given a 10 by 10 grid, and you're going to put it into a square. So let's just draw a square. The challenge is to create 2 squares using all of the unit squares. Their teacher states that after 2 new squares are formed, one should have a side length of 2 units greater than the other. All right, so when you're looking at this right here, let's find the area of this. How do you find the area of a square? What times what? Well, shouldn't it be like the side times side? It's kind of like a rectangle, isn't it? I mean, isn't a rectangle just like a longer version of a square? So what is your x times x going to equal to? Isn't that x squared, right? And then you also know that your x is a 10 by 10. So your area for this is going to be, isn't it 10 times 10? So what is that going to equal to? The little trick I always tell my kids is that you just look at the first number, which is a 1 and a 1. 1 times 1 is a 1. And then how many zeros do you guys have here? 2 zeros. So you just put 2 zeros. So that's your first area. Your second area, it's telling you that it is going to be, one should have a sine length 2 units greater than the other. So if my x is going to have 2 units greater than the other, then my second area is going to be 2 less, right? So I'm just going to simply take my x minus a 2 and then square it, because I'll have x minus 2 times x minus 2. So then which one does this match? A, B, C, or D, you guys? C, right there, matches. All right, you guys, you made it to the very last question. So number 60. I'm gonna go back a little bit if you guys need a few seconds. And again, you have this on your YouTube channel as well. So if you need to go back and do that, you have that as available. Number 60, last one. Which are the roots of the quadratic function f of q equals q squared minus 125? Select 2 different options. All right, so first things first, I want to isolate the q squared. So I'm just going to take this and move it over. What's opposite of a negative 125? What is that going to give you? Opposite of a negative is a positive, okay? And then how are you going to get rid of that square? I'm going to square root both sides. So that when I do that, this square root and the square cancels and q is by itself. And I have a plus and minus 125. So again, you could enter this into your calculator and get a decimal and then match it here. Or you can use your perfect squares, which are 4, 16, 25, oh, I forgot a 9, 36, and then try to break this apart. So what times what gives me 125, but one of those factors have to be a perfect square. Equals q. Yes, it's a cursive q. And I guess it could be like, well, I don't know. I can't draw my q. It has to be a cursive q with me. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a q. That's a q, right? They don't teach cursive anymore in 4th or 3rd grade. So I'm like, you're gonna have like a bunch of kids who doesn't know how to write. Okay, so anyways, for sake of 25 and 5, what's the square root of 25? 5. That 5 stays in the square root. So this one, you want to select 2 options. Which 2 options match this? You guys know it breaks into positive 5 and a negative 5. So A and B. All right, you guys, we have about 2 minutes left. And so before you guys put everything away, make sure you highlight your level of understanding when it comes to today's skill. Make sure you guys highlight it. And then give me your folder. And then on your desk, grab your dry erase marker. What is one thing that you like about yourself? And write that on your desk, please. Oh, yes, yeah. Right there. On your desk. That's gonna be hard for you to say. Well, your hair is pretty, so that's one thing. I thought she got pretty hair. It's just pretty hair. Yeah, it's straightened and everything. She has nice big eyes. You don't know what's going on with that mask. I know, it's like we're gonna be not recognizing you guys once you no longer wear your mask. I know. Like, hi, Dr. Tyler, and she'll be like, hi, you. I ran into a student of mine. She's now 22 years old. She just had a baby, 5 days old. Have a great week, you guys. And this girl kept looking at me, you know, at the restaurant and like waved at me. And I'm like, do I know her from a mommy's group from Roland Mountain? And she's like, do you remember me? And I'm like, yep, I do. And I'm like, no idea who she was. But she let me hold her 5-day-old baby. I was like, really? During a pandemic? I'm like, bring it over here. She's 21 now, or 22, yeah. Yeah, and she just had a baby 5 days ago. And I was like, you're gonna let me hold your child? Okay, girlfriend, bring it over. Do you still get the urges when you, bye guys, when you hold a baby like a newborn and go like, no, that's like totally dead, huh?
I love that. You know, like I will hold it.
Yeah.
But I don't have any.
No urges.
There's no more twinges of
Twinges. Oh, I still have a little bit of that. But then I think about like the nursing, the late nights and potty training. And I'm like, nope. It's like forever severed and never again. Yeah, it's just singed.
You get one that's 4. I already got all that stuff. Oh, mine too.
I'm a
Like, do you hear anything this morning? A perfect example. This morning, they're fighting over who gets to take the toast to the table.
Yep.
I said, go sit down, both of you. Sister walks over and sits down. He walks over to the table, turns around, comes back, says, can I take the toast? I said, go sit down.
It's like our freshman this year. Really? Yeah. Except none of that at all.
What part of go sit down aren't you getting?
The go and the sit part.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to take the toast, Dad.
Oh.
Yeah. No, my kid says to me, my heart says no. Like if I say to him, he says, can I have a cookie? And I say, no, you can't have a cookie. He'll go, well, my heart tells me I need to eat a cookie right now.
Oh,
Like,
there you go.
Says, Mom says no.
My little girl discovered the word no. Like this is the first time I was like, smile, Yama. And she looks at me like, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, here it starts. No, no, mama. And I'm like, no, that's not a word you use with me. I'm like, it's yes. Oh, my kids haven't said that to me. My boys never said that to me. But this girl, I don't know. Yeah, just the last one. Oh, it's Brucey. That's awesome.
No, mine.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to my
We'll
freaking meeting.
finally get to where we make a headway on whole rebellious thing.
Phase, you just have to rein it in. You know, it's still comes out. Eventually they learn, you know, but it's like, whoa, like sometimes, yeah.
One fight is in.
I should say.
Oh, stop swinging at the air. It's not going to hit you.
Oh.
No. Overall, I think good. The only thing that I make notes of is that when you speak, you are a fast speaker. But I think that actually forces people to hit the.
Yeah, because it's 20. We have to go through 350 questions. You know. Oh shoot! I forgot to stop my video.
Yeah, stop video.
Stop the recording. Oops. And